One thing I love about baitfish patterns is that simplicity at the vise usually leads to increased efficiency on the water. The same holds true for this angel minnow, a baitfish pattern created out of just one material, Larva Lace Angel hair. The hook can vary depending upon your needs. A thick saltwater style hook like the Daiichi 2546 is my all-around go-to for creating slow sinking patterns for really any situation. For a more buoyant fly for freshwater species, I like a 2720 stinger style hook. All of the work on this fly occurs at the front half of the hook shank. I start some white GSP Ultra thread just behind the hook eye and wrap back about a hook gape's length. I like to incorporate a bit of red into any baitfish pattern I tie, so we get the angel minnow started with some saltwater angel hair in red. All the materials in this fly will be tied in using the same technique. We're going to capture the materials at their midpoint on the near side of the hook before folding the forward-facing fibers back and covering them with thread. This ensures material coverage on each side of the hook and a balanced pattern that won't rotate or spin in the water. Trim this red angel hair to extend just beyond the hook, or just to be equal with the hook shank. We're going to get the white flashy part of our angel baitfish from the pearl green angel hair. This product has UV qualities, making it a bit more effective for its reflective nature. Ultraviolet light can penetrate deeper through a water column than normal colors, making it visible to a fish at greater distances, as long as there's ultraviolet light to reflect. We're going to pull a sparse clump of long fibers from the hank and stack them as you need to ensure all fibers are of similar length. Capture the middle section of this clump on the near side of the hook and make rearward or forward wraps before folding the front-facing fibers back and tying them down on the far side of the hook shank. Pull the fibers up to make sure they're not leaning to one side or another before adding a few more securing wraps of thread. Finally, we'll tie in the flashy wing of peacock angel hair. Pull a similar sized clump as before and repeat the tie-in process. Beginning with a few wraps of thread to the midsection of the materials on the near side of the hook, follow that up by bringing your thread all the way to just behind the eye before you fold the forward-facing tag end back and capture it on the far side of the hook shank. Use a bunch of thread wraps to shape a small head at the front 1/4 inch behind the hook eye before you add a good whip finish or two, and then trim your thread. We'll add some eyes to make the angel minnow complete. These are adhesive back glow eyes. Unstick 2 from the card and secure 1 on each side of the head. Place the eye on the back side of the head so that the final thread wraps cut it essentially in half. This is going to leave you with half of the eye over the rearward facing materials and half towards the front. To set everything into place, we're going to reach for a thick or hard curing UV resin. Fill the gap on top in between the eyes before adding a light coating over the eyes themselves. Invert your hook to do the same on the underside of the head. Use a bodkin to spread the epoxy evenly over the eyes and slightly onto the materials the eyes are touching. Hit it with your torch to set everything into place, and then remove your fly from the vise. For the final step, we're going to need to give this thing a haircut. I prefer cutting the belly materials front to back to make sure there's a nice taper leading back to the tail of the fly. I'll taper the top portion too, trimming back to front. Make them even, or leave your wing a little long. It doesn't really matter to the fish. They're going to eat it anyway. I love how the red angel hair makes a perfect set of gills, and when wetted down, this minnow becomes streamlined and lifelike. Make sure your local fly shops are stocked up on angel hair so you can tie up some angel minnows for any predator species near you. HagensFish.com is the best place to start for those looking to sell the best synthetics on the market. But you can also call Lori at the shop for help finding what you need. Check out Fly Tying University on Facebook and invite others to be a part of the growing movement to become a better tyer and a better fly fisher. Larva Lace is a proud partner of fishstories.org, preserving fishing stories for the next generation. Thanks for tying with Larva Lace. It's time to flip and dip.